Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So yeah, today's video is we're gonna make 6 pairs of chairs that we're doing. The one that we had the scrapwood challenge, and then so many people, they want a pair of it, like so. Okay, they just like what I mentioned the last video that I did, they emailed me, they messaged me, and there was this a couple that came to my house and want to see it and try it, and they want it as well. But yeah, we're gonna have a little changes over here. So what I'm gonna use this time for the base of the chair is the pressure treated, because they're gonna put it in the around the fire pit. So yep, I decided to use the pressure treated because it's gonna be good above the ground, to set it. So yeah, it's okay if you're gonna just put it in your deck or like inside your house. So it's gonna be fine using the regular spruce. But this time we're gonna make this one uh, for the fire pit, around the fire pit. So yep, and also I used the 2x8 in here because yeah, the client wants a little bit inch higher than what I do. So that was a 2x6, and I strip off a little bit on the side, so probably around 5. So what I make here is I'm gonna do here is I just got this a 2x6 pressure treated 2x8, and I'm just gonna rip up a little bit on the side, so that we're gonna have a clean sides of our base. But other than that, everything is the same. Construction is the same, easy. So we'll go ahead and cut all these pieces for the base. Right, so now we're gonna make the secondary leg, or the base, the top of the base, where we call it, where all those bat receiver will sit. So we're gonna cut them all. We're gonna cut 12 pieces of those, because we're gonna make 6 chairs, right? So one chair has to be a pair of everything. So what we're gonna do here is, because we have to do a multiple cut, so we're gonna set. I did set up a stop block in here so that I don't have to measure again and again. So yep, that's what we're gonna do here. Everything are all pretty. Every DIYers out there could achieve this one. Like, everyone could do this thing. So yeah, that's all we're gonna do today, and we're just gonna cut 12 pieces of this, and we will rip it off a little bit on the edge, because the edge of this is so little. Like these factory edges, it's not really that straight, so we're gonna straight them all. So right, whatever leftover we have, because we did a 2x6 and a 2x6x12, so whatever leftover in that every piece that we cut, so we can use this one in the secondary leg, where that sits in the from the base. So we could still use this one. We don't have a waste on this thing. So yeah. So right. So we have to cut this base leg like 15 degrees over here before we taper it on the bottom, because so that it will sit like straight on the edge right when we assemble it. So the trick for that is just to make the accuracy of what you're doing, especially like if your miter is you're not really sure that it was pretty accurate. So what you're gonna do is use your speed square. This, if you don't have also a miter saw that you have to set an angle and cut it, so you can use this one. As you can see it here, this edge in here, there's a pivot point in here, right? So you just, all you gotta do is just butt that one on the corner of the material that you use, and of course, like you can see it here, this bottom number in here, these big numbers in here, those are all the angles that you need. So since we need a 15 degrees, so we're just gonna butt this on right over here, and then just pivot your speed square into 15 degrees. Like right, you can see it here, this number in here, align it with the top edge of your material, 15 degrees, and then you can always draw a line right there. You got 15 degrees, and then you want to make it sure that it's 15. After I set my speed square into 15 degrees and draw a line, we're gonna do it again. I just want to make it sure that my miter saw is also dead on the line that I made. There you go. And just to make it sure, right, and this always give me the efficiency of my work every time I start it. But other than that, like, I'll make it sure my miter saw on my tools has always been calibrated every time I'm done of my work of the day. So I always calibrate it. It doesn't take 2 minutes or so to do it, and that would save me a lot of time the next day I'm gonna work. And yep, and that's all easy on how to give the efficiency thing in your work to do. So right over here, I'm just gonna set up a stop block before I cut my 15 degrees miter cut for these pieces, because this is gonna be a lot. This is this is a 34 pieces of this cut that I'm gonna do for 15 degrees miter. So I just set a stop block in there using the CA glue, which I really love it. You could purchase this one
at the Home Depot or any big box store, which I really love it. So this one's gonna speed up everything that we're gonna cut for this material. So what we're gonna do is just like you can just stick it onto the miter saw table, and yep, the to speed up everything. There's one way of uh, another way of using it. But if you don't have a CA glue and you have a bigger, a longer scrap, so you could use the one and clamp it on to your miter saw. So, yep, there you go. And you're just gonna butt it on and start cutting. And every piece that you have, you can just butt it on in there and cut it. That saves you a lot of time of cutting, of doing multiple cut for your project. So that's how it is, and you have a very perfect 15 degrees because everything you set it up is, like your miter saw was calibrated, you set up a stop block, then saves you a lot of time. So that's how, to give efficiency in our work. And all right, and let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
You're right. So now we're gonna taper this thing in here, where this one sits on the base. So to taper this one, if you don't have a tapering jig, you can use your a circular saw, but sometimes it's so hard to work with a circular saw. Sometimes it wobble, so it doesn't, because we need to have a really flat edge over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna taper the one, but yeah, I did make a fancy, not so fancy tapering jig in here. So I just did whatever leftover I have in there, whatever those scrap wood that I have, and I have this a UV coated plywood with that slides so good in there.
So just slide
So
it, bat it
this
right
is
all the way to
what
the edge of
the
this
one that I might do here.
jig that I make.
Purpose in here
And
is
you
I'm
can
just
see
gonna
to the
bat
back,
that one
this
here
part
and
in
taper
here
it.
that will be removed because that would slide through the blade of the table saw, just like that. So it wasn't that hard to do this jig. It's pretty easy. And yep, you could always put a tiger clamp if you don't have the confidence to hold the material or the jig that you're going to pass it through your table saw. But for me, I'm just used to this. But yep, always think about your safety of doing this. And yep, let's go ahead and we're gonna try to pass it through this first piece we got. And look at that, it's so flat and it's so uh, straight, and we're gonna dry fit this thing and it should sit this way. And look at that. Yep, I'm pretty sure there's no gap. Everything sits properly. Alright, so we're gonna taper everything, all the pieces that we needed for these 6 pairs of chairs that we're going to make for a client. Yeah, alright, so that's how we tapered all this material that we needed to. So alright, everything is straight and flat. And of course, we have to dry fit this thing with to the base leg. And yep, our base leg, we always make it sure that everything's straight and flat because that is where it sits. And we need that one so that there's no gap when we glue it, because that would be the real strength. And you notice in here, like I covered all the end grain with a strip wood that I did because I don't want any moisture or any rainwater that goes in there, because this kind of wood, whatever water that you're gonna put in there, will really, really absorb it. And look at that, how flat that tapered thing is. That's what I need. And yep, thanks to this jig that I make, which I really love it, and always gives me the efficiency of my work to do. Right? You could always put a handle on this or a tagger clamp to clamp your material that you're going to cut it. And yep, that's how we did it. And that's how easily we did it. And it sits like this.
So yep, all right, we're pretty much done with this the base of this or the base or the leg of this
So yep,
chair
we're
that we're
pretty
gonna
much
make.
done with this.
So what we're gonna do now after this is we're gonna
Main
install the back receiver
main
or
structure
the